who's been on the honor flight or anybody that lives in Kern County knows our dear Kevin McCarthy, and they called last night and said he's in town and he doesn't want to miss seeing our veterans. And I've known Kevin and his family in particular for a very long time, and politics aside, I can tell you this man has a heart for our veterans. It's not just what you see in DC.
That's right.
And our bus drivers and everyone will say, hey, we don't get any, they don't get anything like that at any of the other honor flights. We are very special. And I always say to other hubs, talk to your congressman, sorry. But, I do other projects with kids' Christmases, with veterans' kids and things like that. And this man, a day after surgery, has shown up in his bedroom slippers and sweatpants, and just to deliver bicycles or gifts to a family personally himself. And nobody knows about that. It just kind of happens. I try to let people know it's happening, but I don't think he wants pictures of his bedroom slippers on the internet. So, and all the wreaths that you lay while we're in DC come from his office, and that's a great help to us. And on one of our very first trips, we pulled the bus up to the World War II Memorial, and I'm looking out the window and there's a single guy, sorry, there was no Secret Service or anything that I could see, standing there in a polo shirt and khakis with a wreath, just waiting for us to get there. So without further ado, I could go on and on, but Kevin, thanks for coming.
I don't think all of you, but we should thank Lily because she does an amazing job.
Yes.
All the cheers. So many of you, from the escorts and other, I see you all the time. Now to all of you, first of all, thank you for your service.
That's right.
Do we not live in the greatest nation in the world?
Yes, we do.
And don't you love being able to say it?
Yep.
I will tell you, I love our community though too, that we honor you for your service. And I know they're giving donations, so I'd like to do the same. I'd like to give $10,000 so we make sure we can I will tell you, a lot of you I get to meet in DC. And you get excited about it, I get more excited about it. I love the time we get to spend together there. But what I love even more, a lot of you will open up for the first time.
That's right.
And when you come back, I was just with an individual, I was at the grocery store the other day, and he was telling about how 10 years ago he was on an honor flight and we met, and he says he made friends he'd never met before, and they get together at these breakfasts and all the other times as well. And that says a lot about this program. It was needed, it's needed to continue, but more importantly, we know you came to the call when the nation needed us. We need to pass that down to each generation in the future. And honoring you helps us continue that. And I hope you continue to tell the stories, tell the struggles, but tell the successes. Because there's a reason why America should lead, that we are more than a country, we are an idea that fosters around the world. I mean, when I look at what's happening around the world today, I came back just a couple months ago went to the border of Ukraine, to Poland, and down to Romania. There's a lot of similarities to what happened in 1936, 1939, to what's happening today. I don't know if anyone takes the moment and studies what Hitler did and what Putin is doing. Remember, Hitler was in the German army in World War I. He was upset when it ended and they signed the Treaty of Versailles. He actually protested. He rose to power in a form of democracy, but once he got the power, he changed the structure. And what did he do? He rebuilt his military going against the Treaty of Versailles. And what did he do? He took Austria. And the world leader says, why'd you do that? He said, well, they're part of Germany, they speak German. He then sent part of his military into Czechoslovakia. The world leaders didn't say anything. He then created an axis with Italy and Japan. Not with the countries, but with their dictating leadership. That they wanted to control the world. Then what did he do? He told the world that he was going to take Czechoslovakia. It was only then that the world powers approached him. But remember what Neville Chamberlain did? He said, peace for our time. He appeased this man by giving him a country. What Hitler saw was weakness. So he invaded Poland. Putin was a part of the KGB.
Yep.
He hated that the motherland collapsed. He rose to power and ran in a democracy. He even abided by it, left office, came back, and then changed the Constitution so he could hold power. He rebuilt the Russian military. And what did he do? He takes Crimea. And at the time, what did our president say? Why? Well, it was a part of Russia. They want to be with us. He sends part of his men without the badges on, and they go into the Donbass, saying they want to be part of Russia too, because they were part of the motherland. This is the 100th anniversary of the creation of the Soviet Union this year. Then what does he do? He creates an axis with China, with North Korea, and with Iran. Then he launches and he tries to disrupt Europe and NATO. Why? Because the one thing we've all learned in the world, military will make you strong, but dependency will make you weak. And he started providing them with natural gas, making Europe dependent upon him. He had Nord Stream 1, but it went through Ukraine. He had to share his money with Ukraine. He didn't want to do that. So he offers to build Nord Stream 2. Europe says yes to it. But you know what? America said no and put sanctions on it. And then what happened was, he watched our president not listen to the military and how we got out of Afghanistan. Created 13 new Gold Star families, which should never happen again.
That's right.
He then watched that we ended a pipeline in America, but he meets with Biden and he sees a little like Neville Chamberlain. He lifts all the sanctions and gives him a new pipeline. So he thinks it's his moment to invade. I will tell you, speaking to the people of Ukraine, no. They understand freedom. And you know what they understand? They understand freedom based upon the Constitution of America. That's what propels them. And there's a reason why right should win out against wrong. And you have done that time and time again. And so I thank you for your service. I thank you for what you do to this community. I thank all the volunteers that you don't see that put in so much time, that get so much out of those trips as well. We want to continue that legacy. We want to continue the legacy of freedom, not just in America, but around the world.
That's right.
And I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve you. It's an honor of my life. It's a pleasure. And I look forward to, since many of you have already been on the trip, come back as an escort and help out, okay?
That's right.
Thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Woo!
$10,000. Oh my gosh. That was a surprise.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was the only time everyone's attention has been paid. So thank you. So we're going to serve breakfast.